Okay, so part 2 of Semmelweis. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, you should go back and watch part 1 because this will make a lot more sense that way. Yeah. So like I said, Semmelweis came up with this idea that there were these particles and these corpses that were getting from the corpses onto the doctors and then going from the doctors to these pregnant mothers during labor. He didn't know they were germs. This is before the germ theory of disease. He just thought there was something in there that was making people sick. So because he was the head of this clinic, he made everybody start washing their hands before they went into delivery in a chlorine water solution. And the cases of this disease just like dropped out of the hospital. They were like pretty much non-existent at this point. So you would think that this would be like, okay, well, they found this great thing and now everybody's just going to start washing their hands and nobody's going to get sick anymore. Sadly, that's incorrect. Semmelweis was not a big public speaker, and at the time of him having this like amazing idea, he didn't publish anything. He kind of just said, you know what, take what I've taught you and go send it out to the world, but I don't want to go talk about it. So basically it was like a game of telephone, and people couldn't pass on the notes and say it the way that he said it, and without him there who discovered it to back up his claim, a lot of people just didn't accept it. Not to mention, a lot of these doctors didn't want to accept fault that they were the reason that all these women and children and people had died. So his theory was basically just completely thrown out. And then in 1849, he was actually fired as the chief physician at this hospital. So he went back to his hometown in Budapest and started working at another hospital there. He put all of his stuff into practice there, and of course, nobody got sick there, but it was such a small town that it didn't show a whole lot of evidence for it. Now, in 1861, he finally did decide to publish all of his findings. However, because he came so later, everybody had basically already discredited him and thrown all of his ideas out and said that none of it was true. So things just went really downhill for Semmelweis after this. He actually kind of went a little crazy. He started drinking a lot. He started becoming super aggressive because nobody would believe him. Some scholars believe he might have had early onset dementia, and that was what was causing him to act this way. We're not 100% sure, but eventually he wound up getting thrown into a psychiatric facility. And it was at this facility that within 2 weeks he got a blood infection and died, which could have been preventable if the doctors had just washed their hands. Wash your hands for Semmelweis, the more you know.